good morning, everybody. Good morning, Success Zone. Wednesday morning, and hoping everybody's having a great week so far. I know we are. So, as everybody knows, we conduct Success Zone every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and really for the purpose of just sharing with people just different aspects of our industry, and really how you could become a network marketing, as we always say, professional. You know, for the people that really want to understand how to build this thing the right way and all the necessary things that you have to do in order to persevere in whatever company you guys have chosen. And that's what I love about this. Every company out there today, right, has a system for success. And I always say this. Fastest way for success is to follow your company's guidelines. Okay, whatever they tell you to do. It would be a dumb business plan, a very dumb business plan for them to teach millions of people something that didn't work. So, you know, everybody's looking for the magic answer. You know, I was talking to one of what we call our virtual care consultants yesterday. And they said, you know, people are you know, call and say, you know what's the magic? What's the secret sauce? Right? What are you doing that I'm not doing? Now, there's a difference between what someone's doing or not doing versus secret sauce. I will promise you, there's no secret sauce. The secret sauce is work. Work works. Okay, that's for sure. Persevering through the work works. Building the right foundation is when you really start to understand this is a business. And that's kind of what I want to talk to all of you about today, is building the foundation that this will sustain itself for years to come, right? But unfortunately, right, you get into a mode of instant gratification does not jive with building the right foundation, okay? Instant gratification of you persevering and bringing a large amount of people in a short amount of time, yes. Because when you do that, you start to build brick by brick. But to find the right brick that's going to sustain the foundation takes lots of bricks, right? I don't even know where I went with that analogy, but hopefully you understand it. If you look at any skyscraper that's been built over 100 stories tall, the foundation is always bigger, right, than the actual structure, because that's what's going to sustain it. And this is the business that we're in. And our bricks are people. Those are our bricks. Our bricks are people. And a lot of people, when they don't understand the real numbers. Now, when you start to understand the real numbers, then you could adjust your realistic or unrealistic expectations. Because if I did a poll for everybody on this call right now, right, I would say, do you want to make $1 million a year? And I promise you, everybody's going to say yes. Or you may say, I want to make more. Okay, well, do you have the right foundation that you're building to have $1 million a year in earnings business? Not in volume. $1 million in volume will probably put $100,000 in your pocket, okay, because you're probably making about 10%. Okay, but to make $1 million a year, you need a $10 million foundation. Okay, and if you look at your company's compensation plan and the products that you are selling, right, what's the highest amount product that you have that you can sell? Okay, what is it, $100? $70, whatever it is. Let's take 100. Well, how many times does 100 go into 10 million? Well, that's how many people you need buying that product to have a $10 million business. So you've got to have lots of outlets to build the right foundation. So let's start with the right mentality, okay? Everybody here has a product or a service you want people to buy. Correct? If no one's buying a product or a service, no commissions can be paid. That would be called illegal. The only way a commission is paid in any legitimate network marketing company is a product or service has to be sold. Okay, so we call that retail. So let's take baby steps right now. Let's take baby steps, because you have a lot of people here that may be seasoned in the industry, but you also have people here, right, looking for the answer. And you got to always understand who your audience is, right? And you got to be able to communicate. And the very basic of any company that's going to get people involved, okay? And remember, I'll play the devil's advocate here in a second, right? I'll go back and forth. But you have to have faith in the product. If you poll 100 people and say, for you to get involved in a company, do you believe you have to like the product? And most people are going to say yes, right? But you guys know my thought process, right? I don't have to love steak to own a steakhouse, right? You guys get it. But let's just bring it down to basics. We all have a need to have faith in the product. Let's just use that, okay? Now, once you have faith in your product, then you will believe other people would want your product, right? And if you're going to drive sales, you got to be a walking, talking testimonial of that product or service, period. You got to let everybody that comes within 3 feet of you know that you have something that they want. We're talking about products right now, okay? And then once you have faith in the product and you experience the product, you then believe, right? It's all belief, that your product will sell. And what happens when you get down this road of what we're calling retail and forming your army of people that have faith in the product and are selling the product, something happens to your self-esteem. You start to believe bigger, faster. Self-esteem is everything. Belief in yourself is everything in this business, guys. This is why now I play the other side. If Jeff believes in Jeff, it doesn't matter what product Jeff has. Because Jeff, as long as there's a need for that product, and this is where I want you guys to get. I want you to believe in your products. Yes, absolutely. But remember, along with belief in your product is belief in the opportunity that surrounds the product. But we all know that in most cases, you're going to be very product heavy in the beginning. That's why the big part of your foundation is retail. Because we all know where people tend to go in the beginning. Because you could touch the product, you could feel it, you could experience it. And when you have a core belief in your product, it's really now a foregone conclusion. Of course my product works. Of course I have customers of my product. So let me ask you that. Okay, do you have customers of your product? Right, you should always have, okay, a core business of just people buying your product. Now remember, I'm going to build the foundation of tens of thousands, if not millions of people that are buying my product. And what drives our industry is something called auto ship. I'm talking about if you have a supplement or a skincare product, something tangible, right? You want reoccurring revenue coming through. And the obvious conversation you have with people is you don't want to get the result once, do you? You want to get the results every month. So you should get on our auto ship program or our retail program or our 3 for free program, whatever it is in your company. But you got to get product moving. You got to build a foundation of people that want the product, okay? Now, if you look at the 3 pillars to our foundation, it's retail, It's the opportunity that surrounds the product, correct? Because everybody goes, what separates your product from all the rest? Have you ever gotten that question, anybody on this call? Do you know the answer? What separates your product? And then you got people going, well, my product has this ingredient, and my product has that ingredient. And this was formed in, some remote place where the soil is very rich. And you go down this road of why you believe your product is different. Can I help you? What separates your product from all the rest? Maybe all of those things, but that's not important. What separates my product is I have a business attached to it that can change your financial situation. That's what separates my product or my service. Think about it. Think about your particular product right now. And think about the marketplace out there. Are you the only game in town? You may try to convince people you are because your product is better according to you. Now, what makes your product better? You get paid with that product. That's what makes it better. And this is what I want you guys to understand. Okay, we all know, and you could go down this road, but it's not going to help you build your foundation of the three most important pillars. Getting people to want your product, but then you want to also build a foundation of people that accept the opportunity. But now watch this. What's the opportunity? What is opportunity? If I unmuted all of you today and I gave everyone a chance, 30 seconds to tell me what an opportunity looks like, could you? What is an opportunity? You know what an opportunity is, guys? It's your vision. It's your vision. My vision of an opportunity could be different than yours. In fact, I know it is. Why? Because I believe bigger and more than most of you. So I'm going to share a bigger vision than a brand new person will. That person's vision may be, I like the product. That could be the vision they're sharing. Then they wonder why they're not getting people into their business. They're just selling product. Is there anything wrong with that? If that's the kind of business you want to build, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But I got to get you to share your vision with people. And this is where I take them off the product. And this is where a lot of the trainings you guys have been exposed to comes into play. What is your vision? Well, your vision first and foremost is all the problems that you faced and had and how you're going to solve the problem in the company you've chosen. And I got to get you, the prospect, to see having more time, spending more time with your family, building residual income, taking the vacation you could not take last year, upgrading the house, buying a new car. That's the vision I got to get people to see. And the only way they're going to see it is through you explaining what it means for you. That's opportunity, guys. That's opportunity. It's your vision of what you got involved with. And this is where I want you to really be crystal clear. Remember, we went over testimonial training, and I told you to write down your story. Let me ask you a question. Don't answer to me. Only answer to yourself. I'm nobody to you. Okay? You don't got to answer to Jeff, but answer to the person in the mirror. Did you even do that exercise yet? If you didn't, you don't have a vision. How can you have a vision if you don't know where you are or where you've been or where you're going? You can't. And this is where people go in, week out, because they don't do the little things. First step, and I know it sounds basic, write down, what you've done, where you are. And then you look at where you are and you go, what do I need to change? That becomes your vision. What you need to change becomes the vision of where you want to take other people. Because once I understand where they are, which in most cases is where you were, it's like a riddle, right? Then you can take them to where you're going to go. It's practice. It's vision. It's understanding that. That's what opportunity is, guys. No one can see an opportunity. You got to know that. They can't see it. All they see is what they know. Now let's just think about this for 1 second. What do they know? What they know is where they go every day for 8 to 12 hours. That's all they know. Do you think they have time to think outside of what they know? In most cases, it's no. How do I know that? Because most people say, I don't have any time. So I know they're not looking. Now here you come. And you have this window of time to get them to see something that you see. And if they see it's coming out of somebody's mouth that's excited, right, and they're energetic, and they have a clear vision of where they're going, I have a chance, I have a window to crack, right? You ever go into a car and you just crack your window so some air gets in? That's what we have. We have a crack. And as I roll down my window, okay, and then they give me a little opening, I can maybe roll down the entire window. Then I can open all 4 windows. I could take down the convertible top because the person's open. But I got them open because I shared a vision with them. And you got to hit them hard right away. That's opportunity, guys. So now do you see the foundation you're building? Now watch. Let's say they buy into your vision. Now the next pillar is I got to be able to give them the direction. You're the map. You got to understand something. We're all things to all people. We're going to provide the product. We're going to provide the vision. And I'm going to provide the direction. Remember the conversation yesterday, Sonia? Okay. People getting involved and then they're lost out there, right? And they're calling, looking for the answer, right? We call them wounded warriors out there, right? And they're just looking for the magic answer. Who do you think is responsible for giving people the direction? Well, let's start with the company that you've chosen. I'm sure they have a training program. I'm sure there's things you can plug into. I'm sure there's galas and there's conferences. That's direction. I'm sure there's a weekly call. That's direction. What do you think this is? It's giving people direction. So they know, okay, that this is a business like any other business. And every single one is equal. Product has no more value than the opportunity. Opportunity has no more value than the training. They're equal. But you got to have all 3 in place. And I promise you, if you're with a reputable company, is that the right word, right? You have a great product, there's an opportunity attached to it, and I promise you they have training. Okay? Now, what do you got to do? You got to insert yourself into this. So now you committed to the direction. And committing to direction doesn't mean you're just hanging out, committing to learning. It's taking the direction, which is going to help you go out there and share your vision with other people and your product. See, the direction is twofold. It's direction on the product that you have available and the direction of sharing with people where you're going. That's all the training is going to talk about. How to properly share with the number of people you have to share it with, your products and your opportunity. There's no other thing to talk about because that's all we do. That's the only thing we could get people involved in. I don't charge for training. I charge for what? For my product, and I charge in most cases, right, for my opportunity. So when you look at this, this is what you're building. You want to build $1 million a year company, you got to have all 3 components. And then you have to focus in on your vision. Well, that kind of goes back to direction, right? Once I have a vision, once I believe where I'm at is not where I want to stay, and I've accepted a new opportunity, I got to now have some type of focus on that opportunity. Remember I said there's going to be sacrifice? Now you really find out what you got. And I'm going to show you the numbers you're going to have to run to really figure out if you have somebody that wants to build. I got to find the people that want to focus in on their vision, not the person that just wants to join your team. I'm not talking about that person. I'm not talking about the person that will throw $1,000 and buy some product and you know without a doubt they're not going to do anything. Or the person you have to convince to buy the product. And you know damn well you convinced them. Well, if you got to convince them to get in, you're going to have to convince them to stay in. I've chosen, after 25 years, not to deal with those people. Okay? But, hang on now. Hang on. I'm going to contradict myself. Let's say I'm good enough, and I am, to convince somebody to get involved in the business. Okay? Let's just say I did that. But I know that that person is probably not going to do anything. First of all, how do I know? You may know a little bit about the person. But what if that person just hangs out long enough and leads me to somebody? Guys, listen. If I'm you, I sponsor as many people as I can. Numbers work. You got to throw the numbers on the board. I wish we had so many numbers where I could determine who will and who won't. I don't know. See, there's the contradiction. Now, the ego side of Jeff goes, man, I'm a really good people person. I could determine who will and who won't. And in most cases, I'll probably be somewhat right. But you know what? You don't want to run your business that way right now. What you want to do is you want to put people in your system. You want to put people in your system. And then you'll find the people that want to focus in on their vision. I have an opportunity for everybody. As long as Jeff could look in the mirror every morning and say, am I there for the people that want to focus in on their vision? And if the answer is yes, I'll sponsor everybody. That's a sponsor. Remember, I'm not recruiting everybody. I'm sponsoring everybody. When I sponsor, I'm going to be working really closely and giving the people the direction to find the people that want to focus in. And I'm going to show you those numbers here in a second. Okay? And then once I have that, this is where I could duplicate. I got to be able to duplicate what? The system. Not duplicate a new program that the person came up with. You guys, if you had something that only worked for you and you couldn't teach it, right? You're basically out there trading time for dollars again. I promise you, every system in our industry has something that everybody can do. Send out a 2-minute video. Sample your product. Why do you think they do that? It's duplicatable. So make sure what you're doing can be taught. We had a conversation with one of our virtual care consultants just the other day. And I heard Lisa saying to this person, and because the person was bragging about their numbers. And they said, I cannot believe how many people I contact. This is just exactly out of this person's mouth. And how many people are interested in what I have. I've never had that type of opportunity. And then I heard Lisa say, teach it to your group. Don't keep it a secret. Is what you're doing duplicatable? She goes, yeah, it's just the work. It's just going through the numbers. But when you have a product that everybody is intrigued with, then you then create interest. But teach it to your group. And this is where you start to become and understand this is a business way beyond you. Way beyond you. But let me ask you this. Do you know your numbers? And I know some of you have seen this, but we're going to do it again. Because a lot of people want to know what the magic number is. I know, and I told this story the other day. when I was with a company called Organo Gold, my sponsor was Holton Bugs. Okay, we became diamonds in that company. Okay, now Holton Bugs was $1 million a month earner. Not for six months, for 5 straight years. Okay, Holton is now worth well over $100 million. And when I went to Organo Gold, right, the most we had ever made, and this is good money, guys, most we ever made in 1 month was $167,000 in a month. Which is, let's just say you average, that's $1 million a year, okay? It wasn't $1 million a month. He goes, Jeff, do you want to go from $1 million a year to $1 million a month? I said, yes. He goes, you got to teach this. I said, okay, what is it? He goes, you can't hide behind the numbers. The right people will hear it. You may scare some of them away, but do you care? You got to tell the truth. And you can't tell people they're going to make $1 million a year, right, by going out there and sponsoring the average. You know what the average person sponsors per year? 2.3 people. I'm still trying to figure out what 0.3 people means, okay? But what is that? Was that like somebody with no arms and no legs? I don't know, okay? But 2.3 people. He said, but you have to have a large group of people in a short period of time to build the foundation so you can find the people, now listen, that want to focus in on their vision. I could fan all your vision. I could fan all your desire. I want to find the people that want to focus in on their desire. You guys know the difference, right? I want to take up golf. Okay, I'm going to take golf lessons. Or then you got the person that says, I'm going to commit to taking the golf lessons. See, there's a big difference there. Okay, so what are the numbers? Okay, in a 6-month period, 6 months, okay, you have to put into your company. I'm trying to write this nicely. 6 months, you got to put in 40 personal recruits. I show this now on my slideshow, and I've gotten people going, you can't show 40. You're scaring people. I'm scaring the wrong people. You can play with the numbers any way you want to. Why would I not show people what it takes and let their vision take it where they want? Well, I don't want to make $1 million. Then don't sponsor 40. Don't get traction. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? But see, they go, well, how many people can do that? You're teaching something that most people can't do. I'm not looking for most people. I'm not looking for average. Average people will always be average. If you want to find leaders, tell people what you're looking for. I'm looking for a leader. Well, Jeff, I might not be that person. Does that person still have value to your company? Of course. Of course he does. But I want to show you what it takes. 40 people in 6 months. Personally sponsored. Personally sponsored. And here's what you have to understand. The numbers always fall through. Because here's what happens. 12 to 16 of the 40, guess what they're going to do? Take a wild guess. Absolutely nothing. 12 to 16 will do nothing. Don't worry about those people. Let me ask you a question. If you bring in 40 people, are you there to give them direction? Are you there when there's there needs to be a 3-way call? Are you there to do the opportunity presentations? Then don't worry about it if they do nothing. They chose to do nothing. Jeff, the sponsor, will always come 50% of the way. They got to come the other 50%. If they don't, they're going to fall into that category of 12 to 16 out of the 40 do nothing. I don't worry about them. By the way, if I see them at an event, I still high five them. I don't call them up and say, I'm not working with you. You're doing nothing. No, that's not my job. My job is to give the direction. Their job is to take it. And most people, whatever they choose to start, these numbers will persevere. How many people join a health club that never go? A third. Okay, so don't just say it's multi-level. I hate that, by the way. But now here's what this does for you. Now that you know this, when you start to identify the people, then you go, oh, that's just a third of the people that Jeff said won't do anything. Now watch this. They still may be on your auto ship. They still may eventually lead you to somebody. But you're not counting on that person when it comes to you doing your business plan, right? You're not saying, okay, I'm going to count on this person that has done nothing for 6 months, and you're not counting on them when you're trying to rank advance. You guys follow me? Now, the other 12 to 16, the next 12 to 16, will what I call incubate. Or let's use frozen. Okay? The next third will be frozen. These are people, now tell me, big smiles everybody if you have a group, how many people do you have that you know without a doubt are frozen? They're getting ready to get ready. They're always just getting ready to get ready. I'm getting ready. I'm pumped. Sonia, I'm pumped today. I'm pumped. Man, that training really did it. And you know they're going to do nothing. Okay, so what? These are people that are on your auto ship. These are the people that show up to some of the events. These are people that maybe, right, will parade themselves as experts. And you're thinking to yourself, please don't take advice from that person. Right? And you see that person talking to somebody else that's brand new, and you're going, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I got to intervene here. Because I got somebody doing nothing talking to somebody that wants to have some desire. Different training. I went off course there. Okay, that's another level of leadership. Okay, I'll talk about that later. Okay, now these people, you don't treat them any different, right? You're their friend. Like I said, you're there. You're supporting them. But look at guys, 2/3 of the 40. Out of 40, 24 out of the 32 out of the 40 are doing nothing. Nothing. But when you put this amount of people in, it allows for the sifting process. If you put one person in a month for 40 months, you can't sift. What, a third of the one person does nothing? A third of the one person is frozen? And a third of the one person goes to work? No. You see, you got to have a large group of people in a short period of time. And I'm going to show you how to accomplish this. And then you have another 12 to 16. This is where you go, oh my gosh, traction. These are people that will build. These are the people right here that will focus in on their vision. They'll take your direction. They'll duplicate. They'll sell product. That's who these people are. So now, when you're putting together your business plan, you got 12 to 16 people that you could attach numbers to. Right? These are people, these are franchises. Right? They're people, but they're going to build franchises underneath them. So if you need $100,000, let's just use that number. Let's just use that number to rank advance in your company, right? And you have 12 people. You could assign $8,000 in volume to each person. These are people that want to run. And this is how I've done it. I don't attach volume to the other 2/3. That's trash volume, I call it. I've got to find the people that want to build. If I have, let me ask you this. If you had 12 people in the company that you're with right now, just hitting the basic promotable rank, the basic rank in most companies is when you do about $5,000 in a calendar month. Okay, let's just use that. If you had 12 people doing that, that's $60,000 that you did. But I need those people to assign the volume to. That's who those people are. But I got to put 40 in to get 12 to 16 that want to build. And then out of that, 2 to 4 will equal 80% of your monthly volume. Two to four people. I'm telling you. And you know what Holton said to me? Jeff, prove me wrong. He goes, you want to get to diamond, which was $300,000 in volume in a month. You got to put 40 people in. We put 56 people in, and in our 4th month in that company, we made diamond. He goes, I told you. And I had 3 to 5 business legs that were working. He goes, the numbers never lie. Never, never lie. Because now, if you look at any company out there today, if they're doing billions of dollars, I promise you 80% is coming from 3 to 5 key leaders that are sitting on top of that entire company. They're sitting on top of the foundation. Well, I need you guys to want to sit on top of your foundation. This is what it takes. 40 people in 6 months. Now, if you're just starting, let's say you're going, okay, I want to start this program. How do I know if I'm on track? You should put in no less than 12 people your first month. I'm talking to the people. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm talking about people who go, I want to go fast. Because I know I have some people on this call that are with the company that I'm leading. Okay, you need to put 12 people in fast your first month. Then you could back down to 6 for the rest of the 5 months. Just do the math. 6 times 5 is 30 plus the 12 you put in, that's 42 people. Okay, now let's say you put your 12 in. What do you need? I need 1.5 people per week to bring into my company. That's my vision. That's how I'm going to build my foundation. I have to do it. For me to build a foundation that's going to sustain itself, I have to put this in. Now, if this is too much, then guys, just get with the person, get with your sponsor, and just tell them what you're willing to commit to. But see, now I got to reverse engineer this. Right? If I need 40 people in 6 months, okay, I got to reverse engineer it. How many people do I have to talk to get 40 people sponsored? Woo! Uh-oh, here we go now. Here's where you lose people. It's called the work. Remember the conversation yesterday? Some people remember the conversation I had. They go, Jeff, this is what I do. I'm on the phone every minute of every day. It's my business. Would you be on the phone every minute of every day, talk to as many people as you can, okay, to build a foundation that will bring in $1 million a year to you? Yes, I will. Will you sacrifice certain things? Yes, I will. Okay. So now, what are you willing to do? You got to set a schedule. You got to set your schedule. If this is your goal, this is where I talked about drive time, weekends, right? Nighttime. Something's got to give. Because I got to run my numbers. We all know how to start with our numbers, right? But you got to add to it. Guys, listen, there's no excuse to run numbers anymore. with social media. When I first there was no internet. I can't believe how old I am. There was no internet 25 years ago. We had to go out and figure out how to get in front of people. And so we got really good at just starting conversations. Today, there's no reason with LinkedIn. Are you kidding me? With Facebook, with Instagram, with Facebook Lives, you can't get people, then you're not doing anything. I want to be honest with you. If you can't put in, if it was any type of work, 100 people into your funnel a week, I'm talking about minimum, you're not working. Now let me run those numbers. 400 people, divide that by 30. What is that? 30 times 3 is what? What is that? 90, right? So I don't know what it is. Whatever 400 divided by, someone do the math and put it in chat. What's 400 divided by 30? Somebody. 400 divided by 30 is 133? No, 13, yeah. Judy, I like your numbers. Do Judy's numbers, you guys will be stinking rich. 133 a day. Okay? Some people are. That's 13. Okay. Can you reach out? Can you get interest within 13 people a day? If you work 30 days, I'm talking about 400 people. Now, I'm not saying your number's 400, but if you ran 400, do you think you could sponsor 12? Forget 12. 12 was your first month. You think you could sponsor 6? 13 a day. You got to have your number. Is it 5 a day? I'm talking about solid contacts. Now, out of that, I have to have a lot of numbers going out to get 5 solids, right? So these are the things we talk about. This is what we teach. You know, we've taught LinkedIn on this call. Well, we'll do that again. Right? It's all about running numbers. Now, if you happen to have credibility and you have a good contact base, which some of you do, you still haven't reached out to everybody. This is why you see some people who hit top ranks in your company. Can I just give you their secret? Don't get discouraged. These are people that have high influence over people, and they have the ability to bring a large group of people over to wherever they go in a short period of time. Just call it what it is. So when you have people in your companies, I didn't bring anybody over. Baloney. Baloney. They did. They brought over, so there's nothing wrong with that, but don't compare yourself to that. I got where I'm at because I ran my numbers. I got to where I am today because I do have somewhat credibility, because I have a track record for 25 years of doing what I said I was going to do. So of course, if I go somewhere else, I'm going to have a group that's going to come with me. Let's just be honest. I hate that stupid talk stuff. Okay? But it's 25 years. Well, you could do that. This is what you're doing. You got to prove it first. Welcome to life. It's called the School of Hard Knocks. It's called there's no shortcutting. If you have that in your head, you won't look for the shortcut. That's why people say, Jeff, just give me the magic. Like, I have a magic wand, and I'm going to give it to Tom and to Brian and to Sonia, but not to Armand. I'm not going to give him the magic wand because I just don't like him. Really? No. If those 3 people are hitting their 40 and the other person isn't, they're not working, period. Or they're not working long enough. You said, Jeff, I am working. Okay, for how long? For how long? You worked hard for what, 24 hours? You ran your numbers for you got your 13 in one day. This is what people do. They quit. Or remember the training, It's Not Worth It stage? And I showed 19 months of working, but really not getting the results. But it was the 20th month that your business harvested, and all of a sudden a foundation just appeared. That was not 1 month. It was 19 months of work. I forgot the analogy about a bamboo. It grows this way, and then all of a sudden, for 5 years, and all of a sudden, in 1 month, it shoots up 12 feet. I don't know. I heard that. But it was building its foundation for 5 years. That's what happens here. But you know what? You do this. You have the faith. You're sharing your vision. You're part of the direction every day. You're running your numbers. But you're just saying, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And all of a sudden you go, boop. It just goes because you can't fake the work. Can't. It's amazing. But now that you know this, I challenge you, for the ones that want to challenge, run it. Put 12 people in this month in your company. See if you don't get traction. You'll start to see people. But remember, don't put the 12 in and go, I did my 12. You got to put 6 in the next month. 6 in again. 6 in again. 40. If I told you 40, you do 40, I will personally insert $1 million into your bank account. Guaranteed. Would you do it? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I got to take away the guarantee. But I will tell you, right, that the foundation will be built for you to earn that. Oh, well, that's not the same. No, it is the same. It is. That's the business right here, guys. That's it. That's your foundation. Build it, and it sustains itself. How do you think we stayed with a company for 15 years? We had a nice foundation. We built the foundation. It was drilled into our head about faith, and that's where this training came from, by the way. This training is 25 years old. Nothing changes. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I had to hone my skills. I'm sharing with people my vision. I had to make sure I gave people the right direction, and I had run my numbers. But in the scope of things, is this really that hard? No, but just remember, what's easy to do is easy not to do. And I don't want you guys doing it. Follow your company's program and talk to your leader. Say, listen, I was just on the Success Zone. Don't even tell them who did it. But he told me if I put 40 people in 6 months, I'll get traction. I promise you, if they know anything about the industry, they're going to say you should follow that plan. And call your upline and say, listen, I'm going to put 12 people in this month. Commit yourself. Hold me accountable. Funny thing happens when you start sharing your goal and sharing your vision. How's your business going? Great. I'm going to build the right foundation starting this month. I have 12 new business partners that I'm going to be bringing in. And just walk them through what you're going to do. You ever tried that? Just show people your plan. You know what they're going to say? Whether they believe it or even understand it, you know what they're going to say? That person has a plan. But if I just said everything's great, let me show you what I'm going to do. I've shown this to people sometimes. I sit down on a napkin presentation. Go, let me show you what I'm doing. And I'll just draw out my foundation. People understand that. This is how I'm going to build a business that will sustain itself. So I'll go through napkin presentations, guys, during this Success Zone format. How to sit down with somebody just to expand their vision. But something happens when you're following a plan to your self-esteem. You don't care anymore. You don't care what people think. That's the biggest problem. You care what everybody thinks. You know why? Because you don't have a plan. You don't know that you know. When you know that you know, you don't care what other people think. Your self-esteem is so big because you're running your numbers. I got this. And now you understand why people ridicule you, because they don't have a plan. That's all that is. It's nothing personal. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Make today your someday to go out there and start building your foundation. This has been recorded, and it'll be archived on GM Alba Global. Thanks, guys. Bye.